Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Training here from Remax Ace on Consumers Road. Christine Boland in the house, ready to do a new topic today. Very excited about it. How many of you guys have checked out the ListTrac? Anybody online checked out ListTrac?
I do.
Yeah? Okay. Very, very exciting. So exciting for a bunch of different reasons. I'm going to go over sort of back and forth with what are the reasons, try a little bit of the list track, show you what it looks like, what the interface looks like, and then come back again to more reasons why we should use it in real estate. So you ever have those clients that are like, hey, like, what are you doing with my listing? Like, how's it performing? And how do you explain to them what's happening with their listing online and, over different platforms and stuff like that. So I'm just going to come here and we're going to talk a little bit about ListTrac first. Good morning. How are you? Good morning. Okay, so we have ListTrac. Okay, so we're get good tracking on our listing performance. So when we throw our listing up online, a lot of times our clients are asking us what's happening with our listing, right? So we get to track our listing performance on ListTrac really easily to see what's happening. It's going to give us the stats on how many page views we have. So how many times a listing has been viewed by potential buyers online. And I will show that when I go back into the platform. How many clicks and engagement? So what does that mean? How many times people are clicking on it? How many times they're going through the images, videos associated with the listings, attachments you might have, floor plans, stuff like that. How are they engaging with that post? It's not just a view because they might view it and then just click to the next listing in 2 seconds and not even delve into your description or whatever, right? And then lead generation. How many leads or inquiries are generated from your listing? So are you getting people asking about your listing? Are they sharing that listing? Are they liking that listing? So you'll get to see the statistics on that as well. Oops, let's just go one. So lead analytics, it's going to provide insights and sources of leads. So we're going to talk a little bit how to get leads off of this, right? It's not as direct and hot as you think, but it's definitely a way we can manipulate it because that's always our idea at the end of the day. Yes, we want to sell our listing, but how do we get more leads out of this listing? I always talk about being an active agent, a healthy agent. If you focus on leads, you're not going to be chasing business all the time, right? Because off your listing, you're going to be getting buyers to work with, and then you can boast about that listing and hopefully get other listings. I find some of my most powerful marketing is my just sold flyer or my just sold calls I do in the neighborhood, right? So how are we going to get more leads from that? It allows us agents and brokers to see what websites and platforms are generating the most engagement. So where are we wasting our time? Where are we putting our time and effort in on our listing? And help optimize our marketing strategy. Okay. Comparative performance. So this list track allows us to see how our listings are performing against other listings online, right? We can sort of see the competitive analysis there on list track. And reporting and insights. So it provides easy to understand reports that break down the performance of your listing. Super easy, really nice charts, line graphs, spits out beautiful reports for our clients, right? So it includes graphical reports showing trends over time, engagement metrics, detailed data on the lead activity happening on your listing. And then, of course, we can share those reports with our clients really easily. I'll show you guys how to do that once we go into the platform there. We can utilize ListTrac if you guys go and get familiar with the platform because it can help us make our marketing very effective. So by analyzing the data that's provided in ListTrac, we can determine which marketing strategies are the most successful. So like I say, what's working? We might discover that our listings perform better when advertised on a certain real estate platform, portal, whether we included a virtual tour versus not, did it post better? Are our listings being viewed more at a certain time? They always say about that algorithm, especially when you're posting on your social media. If you're posting a TikTok or a Facebook post, why does it get viewed more when you post it at Tuesday at 2 or 3 o'clock than if you post it first thing in the morning, right? So sort of stuff like that. And the funny thing is you know why the answer is to that? Most people are bored at work. They have that sleepy afternoon, so they get on their social media. It's a good time to post late in the afternoon. During that dozy time when you're feeling dozy, get up and make yourself post something on social media. It gets viewed more because people are bored at work. In the morning, they have the morning rush and stuff like that, right? So again, if you put a virtual tour up on your listing, it might get viewed more. Or if you got professional photos, or maybe you did some like aerial photos, some drone photos, maybe that made that listing perform better than your other listing. And you can see that because it has the stats for all the listings that you have current, right? Customization. So you can customize it to fit the needs of different agencies. So in our case, I'm going to show you guys, we're going to logo it. We're going to have it Remax Ace with your picture on it, your phone number on it. So when it integrates with MLS, but yes, when you send out that information, it's going to have all your information on it so your clients know. And very user-friendly dashboard. So really intuitive dashboard, super easy platform. It's not really in-depth and hard to use. I know a lot of us have struggled lately with the new interface of Realm or like KV Core. This ListTrac is really stupid simple. When you go in, it's really easy to use, pretty straightforward. There's not too much in depth. So I'm really hoping today will encourage you guys to start using it for your listings. Okay, so why use ListTrac in real estate? Again, we're going to have increased visibility by understanding where when we put our listings up and how they're performing. We can adjust our marketing efforts to maximize our listing, and that's all we want at the end of the day. Maximum exposure for our listings, so we're getting people to view us, we're getting showings booked, we're getting people through the door, and we're really pushing up the popularity of that listing because that's what's going to drive the price up for our clients too and get it sold, right? Data-driven decisions. So this is really important. So ListTrack provides valuable data that can inform decisions about pricing and marketing strategies. Very often, how do you have that discussion with your client that we should adjust the price, right? They normally think we just want to lower the price, because we just want to get it sold. We don't care. We do it sort of willy-nilly, but this is really data driven. And I don't know about you guys, but it's important for me to be able to say to my client, you know what? Listings on realtor.ca are getting viewed like, getting 300-400 views a week, and we got 20. You know what I mean? And look at our performance. Instead of going up and getting viewed more, we kind of dip down, and we need to do something. And I think a price adjustment, or I think we need to maybe declutter, or I think we need to take new pics, or whatever you need to do to tweak your listing to get those more views. It's going to help us have that data-driven decision to do that, right? And the proof that we can show our clients at the end of the day. And then again, transparency. So we talk about our clients saying, oh, well, I don't know why you want me to adjust the price, or why you feel we need to get more new pictures, or why you think I need to, I don't know, XYZ. We're going to just say here the transparencies in the report, right? So really, really useful tool. Very excited to use it. I haven't had much use of it yet, so I'm hoping 2025 will bring it forward with all my new listings coming up, because I think it's a really excellent tool. Because as it is, I try to send my clients sort of a weekly update, whether that's like a text or an email saying, hey, really great. We had 5 showings this week. Here's the feedback that happened. Or, we only really had 2 inquiries and only one of them's booked a showing. Let's tweak something with this listing up online. Because the worst thing you can do is throw a listing up online and just let it sit there and sort of die and be stale. We want to show that we're being really active agents. Plus, it gives you a good name. You never want to take a listing and just let it sit and never sell. I mean, what's the point? We don't make money, and you get a bad name as a realtor, right? So I'm going to come out of here for a minute. I've got more on that slideshow, but I kind of want to get into the platform and show you a little bit about it. So where did I log in here now? Nope, that's not it. I think it's going to give me trouble. Let me log in here real quick. So it's really easy to find. You just log into your MLS, and it's going to be on your dashboard there. So as soon as I log in again. So Sadia, I know you said you'd taken a look at it. What have you done anything with it? Have you tried to send your client a report or anything?
With the recent listing that we are holding an offer today, so yesterday after the open house, we printed out that one and sending it to the client before getting the offer so that
Awesome.
he can have a look like for which platform it's working and how many people checked it out because we had a good turnout for open house.
That's awesome. Very good. Very good. So when you
So I
log in, you're gonna,
started using it-
sorry?
I started using it recently.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been around for a number of years, but it hasn't been heavily used. And now they've put it at the forefront of, our dashboard there. And I think that they've really tweaked it and they're encouraging us to use it now. So that's why I thought, I mean, it's a free tool. We all just paid our dues to Treb and we know how much we paid, right? So we might as well use the tools they're giving us there to help make our business better, right? So when you log in,
Sorry, one more thing. It's like I find out some of the clients are very inquisitive, like they want to know every single step what's going on. This is
100%.
a way to show them
This is
that
the
okay,
best. Yeah.
yes, at least they
Absolutely the
will
best.
leave you for a while to breathe.
Yes, exactly. And you can prove to them. It's proof, right? And I know sometimes we feel like maybe our listings aren't performing even. And I've gone on this and I've been tracking it now for the better part of like the last month and a half while I've been trying to learn it and get this training ready for you guys. And I'm like, wow, some of these, even though I'm not getting the calls, they're getting viewed and they're getting like I did get two inquiries and I did, whatever. So it's good to go and check and see for your listings. Okay, so when you log in, ListTrac is going to be here, floating around the bottom, so you can click on it, come into it. Okay. All right, so you guys can't see it there. Hold on, let me stop the share and come back. Why are you guys stuck here? Hold on 1 second. Here, the TV is not displaying it for them. So just give me a moment. Stop the slideshow here. Want to make sure everybody here can see. There we go. Okay, it should share now. So there we go. Okay, everybody can see now. All right, so when you come in on your dashboard, ListTrac is going to be here at the bottom underneath the big Sky Slope and Realm, all our big apps there. It's going to be right there. And you come in and you look at this beautiful dashboard. So this is just a general dashboard with all your listings and how they're sort of performing. The first thing I want you guys to do is go in and tweak your profile. So make sure your profile is good. You always got to make sure that that's up to date. So you're going to come in here and you're going to make sure that your lovely profile says your right name, has your right brokerage, has your correct email. And I swear I put my phone number in there. I don't know why it's not in there now, but make sure that everything is up to date there. You got your phone number and everything in there. So you can upload your picture and everything. Okay. So you can come back out. And from your dashboard, what you can do is you can go into your listings. So if you click on listings, it's going to tell you all the listings that you have live and active right now, right? Now, when you click on these listings, it's going to give you, good morning, a report on the analytics of all of them. So we're just going to click on one and see what exactly it's showing us for these. So quick overview at the top, it says we've had 278 views, 0 inquiries. So I just loaded this one yesterday. 6 people have favorited and 2 people have shared it. So that's since yesterday. I mean, that's pretty decent. I loaded it like yesterday afternoon, right? But then if you go down, it's going to tell us, it's giving us a breakdown of the platforms that it's been viewed on. So we can see what is working for us better than others. So realtor.ca is obviously our strongest one, but it depends where you're posting it. Do you have your own personal website that you're pushing? It might pop up here pretty good. If you're boosting it out on your social media and your Facebook and you're getting lots of views, you might see that, Mary.ca or whatever your website is going to come up and be, pretty close to realtor.ca. Broker and agent sites there. So I'm going to show you how to nix some of those because they might show up on your reports. And Stratus and Realm MLS, right? So just a quick overview of all the different platforms. Now it's going to tell us how many visitors came off of each site, sort of a little line graph there. So where did those 200 and whatever it said, 78 people come from, and on what day? And what, maybe this isn't the one I loaded yesterday. Oh, shoot. I have one lease, one sale. So this must be my lease one. Yeah, so what day things got viewed, when things spiked, why did they spike? So I can only imagine that, there was hardly any views here on the 30 and the 31st because everybody's busy with New Year's Eve. Nobody's sitting and shopping online for homes, right? Maybe again on the 7th because it's the first day back to work. I don't know. So you can kind of see, oh, things really performed well. I don't know if you guys ever strategize with your clients. It's a good thing. I find so many realtors take a listing and we're just like, yes, we got a listing and I'll load it tomorrow. But you kind of have to strategize in your mind what's a good time to go. You know what I mean? Look and see at what's happening in the neighborhood. Are there other listings that are up that might disturb your traffic? Are the other listings that have a bid date that would be similar to what you'd be choosing if you loaded the listing today? Are you loading a listing today and this is a long weekend coming up? Is it Friday and I'm loading a listing and it's a long weekend coming up? 3 days, that's going to be pretty low on the views, pretty low on the showings, pretty low on the inquiries for your listing. So maybe it's like cottage country and you think there's going to be a lot of views because people have time to view it on the long weekend. So every listing you take, you kind of have to analyze when you want to post it, when you want to list it, and how it's going to compare to everything else, right? And then we have the geographic. So where are these inquiries coming from? So apparently somebody from Washington is looking for a cottage up in Kawartha Lakes because they clicked on my listing up there in Kawartha Lakes. We can see the majority is coming from that hotbed of Toronto and then sort of fanning out, which I think is surprising. I don't know. I thought maybe if this is the lease listing, then I thought more would be from Kawartha Lakes, but yeah. So you get a kind of an idea. I know I was looking at one of my listings yesterday and I had a lot of inquiries from Calgary for the listing. So yeah. Okay. And then we see here potential buyers requesting information. So it's different. I'll click on other listings. This one hasn't had any inquiries about it, right? And how many people have favorited that listing? So it had said so many people favorited that listing. Here's that data on how many people favorited it and how many people shared that listing. So if I said, oh, I really like this and I wanted to share it with my best friend or I wanted to share it with, any of you ladies, then I'd be like, oh, here, let me share it. It's going to give me that data, right? Whether or not we shared that listing. Now, coming from this, how do we show this to our clients? Okay. It's going to let us send our clients a report. So we're just going to preview the report really quickly and see what that looks like. So we can say to our client, here is your online analytics report. And it's just going to give a quick 1-page review of everything we just went over, right? How many property views, how many shares, how many inquiries, how many favorites, the top 10 websites it was on, which I'll come back to, the top 10 cities that it was viewed from in the past 30 days, right? Oh yeah, this is the lease listing. So $27.95. Right. And then just a quick view of what the property was. Now, if you scroll down to top 10 websites, and it's not happening necessarily on this one, but you can exclude certain websites. So why would we want to exclude some websites maybe in this report? So I'll show you in our little option for our report options why we want to. So if you come to report options here, as soon as it decides to come up, all right, so we see here we have our profile photo and that again, just really quickly, it does let us do our brand information as well on this tab. So we can add color scheme to what the report looks like. If you don't like, the blue, maybe you just want it all black and white, crisp or whatever, you can change it up here a little bit. And as you can see, I've uploaded our Remax Ace logo here, just really personalize the report for us. But then here we can come to exclude competing broker sites, okay? So this is going to include any analytics, any information from any platform, from anybody's website who is pulling that DDX, that IDF information off of Treb. So for instance, if you scroll down this list here, you're going to see that it has, this isn't a very good long list. Okay, because this is a lease. I'm going to go to one of our sales one because I just feel like it better displays what you'd want to exclude. Okay, so I'm just going to come into this one and see the sales because maybe not everybody's asking for lease listings. Yeah, this is more of an extensive list here. Okay, so you can see that this one says Steve Hald, okay? Or Steve Haid, stevehade.com. This is 99% a realtor. No offense, Steve Haid, you're watching online, but I don't want to include his website information on my report because why do I want my client to see that his website is performing really well and showing his listing? They might say, hey, this guy is advertising and my own realtor's website doesn't show up or my own realtor's information doesn't show up. So I'm going to take him and I'm going to nix him from my client report. So you can pick and choose that way. I know I was looking yesterday, I forget what listing it was, but there was a lot on there, a lot of more popular realtors that you would know. Not that we don't know you, Steve Haid, if you're looking online, but we're going to save that excluded site and I'm not going to include that for my client report. Okay. Now, we previewed the report. What are we going to do with this report? We can do a couple of things. We can just download this report. We can save it. We can export it, right? So export, whether it's want to be the prior date, the prior week, the prior month information, or a custom range. So maybe our client says, did we even get any inquiries over March break? Like what happened? You can customize that range for the date that you want to show your client, right? But the best part is this can be like our prospect searches where it kind of works for us in the background. I think at the beginning of your listing, when you load it, you guys can come in here, customize everything, make sure it's really great. You can go in and you can schedule your report. So you just have to put in seller first name, seller last name, how many emails, like if you want it to go to the husband and the wife, you know what I mean? You can CC, and then maybe BCC yourself so you can see how it's performing. And then you can go in here, you can customize the body of the email and say, here's an update on how your listing performed this week. Let me know if you have any questions. You know what I mean? And then you can follow up with a phone call or something. And then you can choose. If nothing really brought any leads, maybe you don't want to show that ChristineBoland.com brought 0 leads that week because that looks bad, right? They don't necessarily think of it if you're excluding it from the report. So the first one says include lead metrics only when listing has 1 or more leads. So if it brought 1 or more leads, then it'll include it in a report. If my ChristineBoland.com brought 0 leads for my client, I don't necessarily want to showcase that. So I can choose to exclude that this way. Okay. Always include lead metrics, even if no leads have been captured. So if you want to include it for some reason, you can, or never include the lead metrics. Okay. And you can choose to send it weekly or bi-weekly or monthly to your client. Okay. Or on a specific date. Anybody have any questions about all that so far? Do we kind of see how this is really going to help us push our listings with our clients, right? This is really going to help answer those questions when they call. We always get that anxiety. Like we know we're doing a good job. We know we're listing everything online. We got the professional photos done. We got the drone photos done. And then we put it up on MLS and we're like, oh shoot, it's been kind of quiet this week. I wonder why. But then you go on and you're like, oh, wait a minute, there has been 300 views. What's going on here? It gives you an opportunity to go and delve into that with your clients and sort of adjust what's going on with that listing, right? The other quick part in here is you can go to seller report history. I don't have any because I haven't been sending any. Like I said, I'm going to start using them with my listings now going forward. But Sadia, I'm sure if you sent it off of this app, you probably have it in there as already. Anything you send to your clients, it's going to keep track of. So any seller reports that you spit out there. How's everybody so far with that? Sorry?
Come on.
Sorry, did you have a question? No? Okay. The other thing is listed MLS, if you want to include another ID for tracking. So say your client wants to know how your listing and another listing is doing in comparison to each other, you can include that in the report here, right under the address. Or maybe they have 2 listings up at the same time and you want to update them on both. You can come in here and you can include another listing ID and put the 2, sort of smash the 2 reports together. Just quickly there, right under the address that lets you do that. Okay, so I want to come back in here real quick. I just going to go back to my, if you guys don't have any questions about the interface, that's really it. Like I say, it's a super user-friendly dashboard, really simple program to use, but it's so powerful. Really powerful in what it's doing for us because how on earth would you go and track all of that online, right? So it's just really, really easy for us to go in and grab that report. So I thought it'd be a good idea thinking about how can we really utilize this for us. Let me go back into my slideshow here and start it again real quick. How it's good for real estate agents, basically. Because this program isn't only used by realtors, it's a platform that's there for tracking data online for a lot of other things. So let me just make sure you guys are seeing it online here. All the 75 windows open when I'm doing the Zoom. There we go. You guys can see online. So I'm just going to fast forward there a little bit. I've already been through, this is just sort of the intro to ListTrac, but I put a little section in here. How can we leverage ListTrac for more leads? So that's our question. How do we get more leads every day? And this is our big question at the beginning of this year. We did the goal setting and we sat down and talked, where do we get all our leads from? So we're working all our pillars, we're picking our farm areas, we're going back to our center of influence. Listings are a huge place to get leads from. Like I said, I find my biggest success is my just sold. So I was so anxious for that thing to sell because I want to send my next just sold flyer, or I want to boast it to my clients. Hey, I sold this property. They're up a few times. See, you're having trouble. Why don't you let me take that expired lead or that terminated lead or whatever the case may be? So this is sort of where I was like trying to brainstorm. So we can track where our leads are coming from, first of all. So because ListTrac provides us that analytics on which platforms are doing really well for us, whether it's MLS, third party, is your website doing really well? Is your social media getting those clicks and generating the most engagement for your listings? We can identify where our leads are coming from. So if you notice listings on certain real estate portals are driving more clicks and inquiries, obviously we're going to allocate more marketing budget and time for those platforms to attract more attention. Right? Realtor.ca is smoking everything, but I mean, after that, what are we going to do? We got to get other platforms up because Realtor.ca is a given, right? Get other platforms up and working just as well, right? We can optimize our listing content. So because it tracks how users engage with our listing and how many clicks are on our photos, videos, virtual tours, by identifying which media and content resonate the most, we can really make sure that, oh, you know what? I find that, when I do drone photos in the countryside, when I have a cottage listing or somewhere with a big property, it really, performs a lot better. So I'm going to make sure I do that for everything I get in this area. Compare performance with competitors. So we can compare our listings with how other things are performing online. Or are staying more days on market? Are we getting more views, less views, right? So if similar properties are performing better, maybe they sold in a week. Why did that happen? Why were we in the same area and they sold in a week and I didn't? And then we look at this and see, oh, maybe because I didn't get any views, or maybe I got lots of views, but nobody shared it. Or maybe I got lots of views and there was no inquiries. You saw I had, what was it, 278 views, but I didn't have an inquiry on that one, right? So why? Why is that? Is it overpriced? Or they're not liking my photos? The listing's not performing well online. I need to tweak my descriptions. Something's happening if I'm getting those many clicks and I'm not getting an inquiry, right? Again, monitor lead engagement. So talking about those inquiries. So potential buyers that are interacting with the listing. This helps us figure out what are the peak times to really post our listings. I find when you look at those analytics, midweek seems to peak. I don't know whether people get bored midweek at work and they decide Wednesday, Thursday, let me see what I can view on the weekend. Maybe send this to my realtor. So, maybe if you post something on a Tuesday evening or a Wednesday morning, it might perform really well. You can see those peak times. You can look at the buyer behavior. It allows you to follow up promptly and effectively. So if you're getting inquiries, you're going to say to yourself, oh yeah, I did get 2 inquiries and I never responded to them. Maybe that's why nobody's booked a showing, or maybe that's why it hasn't sold yet. Improve our lead nurturing with detailed reports. So, ListTrac lets us generate these reports, right, on what our lead activity is, such as the inquiries, views, clicks for a particular listing. This helps us gauge our interest and respond to them with more precision. So we can use these reports to identify highly engaged leads and prioritize our follow-ups with personalized outreach. So hugely impactful that we can be reaching out to our clients and saying with proof, like we say, really clear and transparent on what's happening, how their lead is like, how their listing is performing online. And refine our marketing campaign. So using A/B testing, we're always saying this isn't working. Well, we're going to go to this. Well, maybe this worked in this area, so it's not going to work here. So, we're going to use different types of headlines. The beginning, the first line of your description is the most important, they always say, right? So you can start off 3 bedroom, 2 washroom. Well, I mean, a million other ads and start off like that, a million other listings, in the description. So, what kind of headline, what kind of first line are you going to start in your description? Again, we talked about professional photography versus smartphones. I see too many agents using smartphones out there, and I think it's crazy. Even for a lease listing, gives you a bad rap, right? And then you can, duplicate or replicate your most successful approach for that. Transparency with clients, we talked about that a little bit as well. So going back and forth with these reports, being able to prove those numbers to our clients. And adapting to market trends. So because it gives us this real-time insight, which means we can quickly adapt our strategies. So maybe, I don't know, a new platform just came out and it's getting a lot of views, or maybe, everybody's really hating, I don't know, Zillow or something right now because it's not. I remember I had a client one time that wanted me to take her listing off of Zillow because she didn't like, how they do that what the approximate value is for that area. Right. So super important. Like if they don't like something or there's something trending, maybe you want to make sure it's not going to those platforms. You guys know you can turn that off for your listings if your clients are unhappy with that, right? When you go and you load at the end of your listing, the DDX IDF part, you can click no on that, and then it won't funnel out to any platforms except for realtor.ca and obviously, Stratus when the agents are looking on the platform. You guys know that, right? And of course, you're Remax, so you're a Remax agent. But actually, you know what? I don't think it'll go on Remax either because Remax reads off of DDF IDX. So it won't go on Remax either. It'll only go on realtor.ca where you're loading it. So then your final takeaway, we get to maximize our listings, boost our marketing success by focusing it. We're going to transform our listings this year, right? We're going to make sure that every listing we put up there is an active listing, getting viewed, getting sold, right? No, nothing just sitting up online. You got to monitor that. That's the thing is, I think this is going to make us a little more accountable too, because you don't want to be that agent just throws it up and doesn't think about it for 3 weeks until your client calls you angry and says, "Hey, how come we haven't sold yet?" Right? You want to do at least a weekly check-in with your client, right? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, we didn't get too many views, but maybe we'll see next week what happens. And then maybe we'll talk about adjusting the price, or maybe we should declutter that 3rd bedroom. I didn't think it would be a problem, but we're not really moving. Whatever the case may be, right? With your listing. Data-driven real estate, super important. And then we can track, optimize, and succeed, which is my title today, right? So this year we're doing a lot about tracking and optimizing, not just our listings, but we talked about our goal setting too. So we're tracking, optimizing, succeeding. So right now, as you see, we're already at the end of January. Look how fast that came. I feel like it was just like last week we were all talking about goal setting. So what did you guys do? How many new leads did you get? How many listings did you post? How many buyers have you taken out? How many things have closed? How much commission do you have? Because now we're 1 month into the first quarter. You got 2 more months to hit your first quarter goal, a quarter of what you set for your goal for 2025, right? So if that was 100,000, you guys have to make 25,000 in the next 2 months, right? So that's at least one purchase for us, right? Or a listing and a half, right? Depending if you're negotiating commission. So does anybody have any questions about that ListTrac platform? Like I say, it's pretty easy. It's not, like I admit with you guys, KV Core, which I'm going to go back to some KV Core training. KV Core, which is now switched to Bold Trail, is kind of really in depth. Like I don't know, I know a lot of us have been scared to go into it, and I've done a couple of trainings on it about like, you know, editing your website, you know, and how to work the CRM, some basics, how to set up sort of a prospect search on it. But this one's not too hard to use at all. This is kind of a no-brainer. I think it's going to be a half hour of you guys getting in there and getting used to it, and then you should be able to use it really quickly with all your listings this year. So definitely something I would promote for you guys to use with your listings. How's everybody online? Everybody good? Anybody have any questions? No? So everybody go get a one listing by the end of the week. Yes. So you gotta just go log in like you normally do. So where am I here? I got lots of tabs open. Okay. So here you just log in like you normally do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because this is on still. 1 second. Okay, so log in like you normally do, and ListTrac is down here. But it might not be because you'll see if I take my mouse off of it, it's gonna keep on flipping by, right? But you guys just go into it right there. Check it out. But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be really, really good for us to use with our listings this year. I think it's gonna be an excellent tool for us. So definitely check it out, use it, play around with it, see how it looks. Go in, don't forget to customize your profile and put your logos and that in there. Make sure all your contact info is in there. So it'll spit out on your reports nicely. Yeah. Everybody gonna have a lovely, lovely week. We have some good guest speakers I'm trying to line up now for the new year. You know, hopefully we're gonna have some AI back. We have some CMHC coming. I think BMO is coming back. We have some good lenders with some good lending strategies for us, for our clients. So few coming in the next coming weeks. But yeah, in the meantime, keep on attending for content and have a good week. Bye, everyone online.